Bio's gotten really popular.
Yeah.
All right. I love when they all just stream in.
Yeah. They're like coming in faster than I can admit them. More. Ah. Feels like a video game, this waiting room part of Zoom.
It is.
It is.
So if you're just joining us, go ahead and put in the chat where you're from, where you're streaming, where you're coming from. We've just seen people from all over, which is just so cool. Bulgaria is back. Nicole, woohoo, Hong Kong. This is awesome. Pennsylvania, New York City, a couple of New York, Tampa, Arizona, Houston, New Jersey, Minnesota. Amazing. I love it. It's just so cool.
I love it.
So some of y'all have been to a couple of these, and that's awesome. It's nice to see everybody again. You can feel free to keep your video on or off, or whatever is most comfortable for you. We're not tripping. So just to kind of kick it off, I know some people will continue to join us, but this is recorded, so it's okay. So my name's Amanda. I'm here in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin. I'm at the Fiveable house, which is sort of where we live and work. And I am the founder of Fiveable. I started this in 2018, the beginning, which now feels like an era ago. But before that, I was a teacher. I taught 9th and 10th grade AP World and AP Human Geography, and really just found that there's just huge gaps, like there's so many students that take APs or that don't take APs that are just sort of kind of fending for themselves, that don't have all these different things that they need, right? Like something is missing, whether it's coming from the school or the teachers or the resources that are available. And so a lot of students spend so much time looking for what you need, Googling and YouTubing things and on subreddits and everywhere else. And so what we want to do is really help to cut down a lot of that time and help you focus on the things that matter, so that you can spend more time actually learning what you need to and connecting with other students and having fun while doing it, and less time just like browsing around the internet trying to find it. So that's kind of high level what we're about. And this year we're really focused on, we've created a lot of content. We are publishing study guides for every subject in every unit, which is awesome. And those are basically like free prep books is kind of what we've done. And then we also will have a pretty pop-in community channel, which right now is in Slack. Hopefully you guys are all coming in there. You can always DM any of us in there, but we'll have it in Fiveable as well soon. And then courses. So courses are our way of really like teaching the entire class, so that you can actually take any AP test without taking the class at school, which I wish I knew in high school. That would have saved me a boatload of money.
Totally.
And I'm like, can I go backwards and like take the test and then apply it to the class I already took?
Right.
Nope, fortunately, no. Just have to pay those student loans off. So don't be me is basically my lesson. So anyways, most of you guys are probably already signed up for bio, but if you are not signed up for bio, or you have a friend who would like to sign up, or there's another class that you're kind of eyeing, you're like, oh, that one's kind of cool, like environmental science or comparative gov, like ones that are oftentimes not taught at schools, you can use the code OH10 and you can get $10 off. Let me just, courses, it's a little late. I'm like, so that is everything about Fiveable you need to know. So like I said, I'm in the Slack channel. If you ever have any ideas or questions or feedback, whatever you want, my DMs are open, so you're welcome to chat with me anytime. With that, I'm going to kick it over to Kate, who is going to introduce a little more about courses and herself, and then we'll get going on bio.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. I'm Kate. I'm head of instruction. So at Fiveable, I work on creating content for all of you. And right now, my major project is courses. So I'm so pumped to see you all here and to introduce you to our teachers and to hear more from them about all the awesome stuff that they have planned. I'm also going to put my email just in the chat for you. It's just kate@fiveable.me. So if you have any questions while you're thinking about courses, or really any questions at all, if I don't know the answer, I'll probably figure out who can give you the answer. Feel free to shoot me an email. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat during this presentation, so you can put your questions in there. And if it's a logistics question, I'll answer it. If it's a bio question, I'll leave that to the expert at the end when it's open for questions. And if you think of questions after, if you're falling asleep tonight, you think of one, you're taking a shower tomorrow, you think of one, just shoot me an email and we're here to help. So without further ado, let's talk about bio.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Kari Parnan, and I am going to be your Fiveable AP instructor, AP biology instructor. So I'm going to pull up and share my screen real quick and just show you a little bit about myself and kind of talk about the course and what you can expect. Just give me a second. Alrighty, hopefully you can all see that. And loading. Okay, so again, my name is Kari Parnan. My pronouns are she and her. And I am a West Michigan transplant. So we just moved here last summer from Chicago. So full year spent in Michigan. It's one of my favorite places to be. We've got beaches, lakes, everything. The only thing we have right now is darkness, though. I thought at 9 p.m. it would still be light and I could like Zoom you guys from the lake, but it's dark out now. So there you go. But anyway, that's where I'm from. I'm an alumni of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So something really cool about that in the news recently is that they have come up with an innovative saliva COVID-19 test. And so there's all sorts of biology packed in there. And that's kind of an example of some stuff that I'll be pulling in to our content, is kind of pulling in like real stuff that's happening that helps with the biology content. And we're going to be looking at real data and maybe some tougher research texts, because to be honest, once you get to that AP Bio test, sometimes you get really freaked out by all the jargon and even data sets that you've never seen before, maybe in your classes. So I just really like showing you a little bit of that, and I think this course will allow us to do that. Last year I spent most of my time just on live streams and just content, so I'm excited to do something a little different this year. Some personal things about me: I love teaching. I also love running, reading, being a mom, being outside, and of course the water, which is also why I love living here in Michigan, because we've got water everywhere. So those are just a couple of things about me. My classroom experience as a teacher: I've been a teacher for 10 years, and I love photosynthesis and GIFs, obviously. And I've also taught physics, anatomy and physiology, and earth science. So biology is my main thing, but I can also kind of bring in lots of different things from different subjects, which I think is pretty cool. I like it all, to be honest. I did 3 years teaching AP biology, and then I spent all of last year with Fiveable doing AP bio stuff. So if you're ever looking around the old AP biology resources, you'll see some replays of me. And yeah, so you'll see me. I'll be a familiar face for sure. My experience with remote learning: like I said before, I've been an AP Bio streamer for 1 year, so I feel pretty comfortable with all of the tech and just the just kind of how we roll at Fiveable. Trying to make it exciting, trying to make it fun, maybe a little bit more laid back than what you might see in the classroom, and just that idea of being able to connect with you one-on-one, I think is just one of the coolest things that I've experienced as a Fiveable teacher. Just that ability to answer questions on the fly and just, you know, connect with students all across the country. I mean, I love just seeing that like everyone is from all over the place, and you can't get that anywhere else, right? So that's, I think, is really cool. Like I said before, that's me. Oh shoot, I was supposed to have an arrow there. But anyways, that little screenshot is just a picture of one of my old streams. So you'll see my little face in the corner of a lot of the old streams. It's pretty funny. And then also, you know, from the March 2020 shutdown, as you know, a lot of the teachers became remote teachers. So that was also my experience. So I taught via Zoom, Google Meet, creating YouTube videos on the fly, kind of tried it all in terms of trying to just meet with my students and make sure that they were learning the material that they needed. All right, so this course, what could you expect? So biggest thing is, you know, there's nothing to lose, right? So there's no grades, no stress. You can pace the entire class. And the biggest thing for me, number 3, it's showing there, is the community. is so huge. Like I've even experienced in the middle of a live stream, a student asking a question and then another student coming in to help answer it before I can even say something, or they maybe suggest a way to remember something that I never would have thought of, and the students totally connect and they're like, yes, I get it. That's totally what I would think as well. So I think community is just so much better than self-studying in terms of something complex like AP biology. You'll also be getting feedback from exam readers, and there's no prerequisites, which is also really great. Another thing, so if you've signed up already, you will be getting 15 weeks of all 8 AP Bio units. So we're going to be going real fast. So like week 1 is going to be unit 1. Week 2 is going to be, week 2 and 3 will be unit 2. And so we're just kind of going to be flying through the material, kind of doing the best of, if you will. So I won't be teaching in place of your AP Biology teacher necessarily, but I'll be coming up with original content, which I love to do. I love coming up with fresh free response questions that you haven't seen before, because you'll see in May, when you get to that point of studying for the AP test, you will have almost seen every single published free response question, and those can get a little bit stale because you've seen them before. And so there's only so much of studying the same stuff that will help you. So I love coming up with original content, and so I'll be doing that for you every week as well. And not just me, but you'll have access to amazing TAs, so students who did really well on the AP Bio exam. You'll have an official exam reader. So our exam reader is actually going to be somebody who is an AP College Board reader. So she's actually a person who reads the FRQs at the in the summertime. So she's got great experience giving amazing feedback and things like that. And you'll have access to other students and community, which is huge because obviously I don't know where you're all at in terms of schooling, if you're remote or if you're in person, but I think we all could definitely use some extra community in this time. Okay, every week, these are just kind of the bare minimum of what will be provided. Some weeks will be more, some weeks will, we don't want to overload you with work, right? It's just going to be overload or providing opportunities for you. So, but bare minimum, I will be giving a 1-hour live stream. And so students will be there as well, lots of conversations going on. Also, 1 original practice free response and other practice opportunities. So I'm thinking like shorter free or multiple choice questions, or even just a little video kind of talking about something interesting and then having you participate in discussions. Also, you will have access to so many curated resources. The Fiveable team has been working all summer, pulling together basically every resource known to man on the internet when it comes to any topic that you could possibly need. Okay, so kind of like what Amanda was mentioning before, instead of wasting a bunch of time on Google trying to look through this, there's so much stuff on YouTube and some of it's not great. I'm sure you know, right? So our team has already gone through all those resources and found the best ones that will be actually useful. So I think that's an incredible aspect to the course this year. Also feedback, which is going to be huge, right? You're going to be getting actual written feedback from a TA or myself, kind of depending on what the assignment is. Office hours, a couple times a week, we'll get to actually speak to someone about something specific if you have a question. And then also just more opportunities to chat with your peers. Oops, here we go. Hold on. Technical problems. And every week I'll make one of these, which is a week at a glance, just looking at how I would break down your time in terms of what you could spend. So like I said, it's going to go very fast, but next week it'll actually be a little bit edited here because Monday's Labor Day, but we're going to start right off with Unit 1. There will be outside resources linked in these posts. Events and activities organized, Fiveable guides right there, and then also the FRQ will be posted at the beginning of the week, so you can get started on it right away if you'd like. There will be a due date for your free response question for each week, just so that our reader can have time to get you feedback by the next week. So don't think of the due date as like a grading thing, and like, oh, you're going to get in trouble, but it's just we need a due date so that our reader can stay on top of it and get you good feedback. So that's why there will be due dates. All right. My advice to you and to any student, not even just during, remote learning times, but make a reasonable schedule for yourself. We all know that you are students elsewhere, okay? So we're not going to expect you to spend, 30 hours a week with Fiveable. Okay, so make a reasonable schedule and say, hey, if I'm taking this AP Bio course with Fiveable for extra help, I want to spend 20 minutes a day just kind of looking at what they've got to offer that day, right? And just kind of stick to it. And then obviously do the same for your other classes and what your other teachers are having you do. But you just make a schedule, stick to it. Also show up. So if you're going to be on a live stream, be on the live stream, right? If you know, you've got maybe the TV on and your phone and all those things, it's going to be harder for you to get the information. But obviously, if you need to turn your camera off and go get a snack, absolutely. I might be eating some popcorn during one of those streams. You never know. But yeah, just give it your best effort. Also engage with our community, so chat with each other, support each other. There will be a community agreement that I'll have you look at and sign so that we are in agreement of what the community norms are. And this is a really important one. Lean into the confusion. So when things get difficult in this AP course or even at school or wherever, lean into those moments of your brain being like, oh no, this is just too much. I just want to turn it off. Those are those moments when you just stick with it. That's when your brain is actually making those connections and learns. Okay, so I sometimes call it the pit, like you're stuck in the pit and you like want to get out and you're trying to think of the easy way out. Sometimes sitting in that pit and thinking about it, like, why am I in this pit? Why is this confusing? What's going on? That's where the best knowledge comes from, in my opinion. Okay, so lean into the confusion. If you're feeling confused, you know, ask a specific question, try to figure out where to go next. Okay, is this worth it? Yes, or I should say yeah. That's what that one says. So no pressure, no grades. It's all just good. You're going to have amazing TAs, like I said, Fiveable teachers here to support you, the incredible resources that have been curated, and the human connection, okay? So I think that's what's so cool about these live streams is that sure, it's going to be recorded and you can always watch it later, but if you're there live, it's just something about being able to interact with people in real time. And I think, like I said, is really important with the world we're living in right now. Any questions?
So one that came up in a couple different ways in the chat
was
how much work do you think, like as far as like how many hours do you think this would take per week? And then some folks wanted to know per day, which you can break that down too, but pretty much like how much work is this a week?
Okay, so if I were to break it down per day, so here's the thing. One of the days is a 1 hour long live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely bare minimum 1 hour if you want to hear the live stream. And to be honest, especially in the beginning, and I know this is a weird school year with every teacher of yours at your home school is probably doing something different and trying different tech. And there's going to be a lot of confusions even with your normal classes. So to be realistic, I would say 20 minutes a day.
Nice.
I would
That's
say
nothing.
20 minutes a day. Yep.
That's like an episode of The Office. Instead of that,
Exactly.
you can work on bio.
Right. And then obviously if you need more, if there's something really tough, you know, I'm also up for hosting an extra live stream at the end of the week if we really need it and if everyone's, you know, just pretty confused about something. But yeah, 20 minutes, 25 is a fair amount, I would say.
Cool. Another question that I saw is what topics will you live stream about? So obviously that will change every week, but I guess the question is like, what types of stuff will you live stream about?
So because there's only one live stream per week and we're going to be doing about, I would say every unit is going to cover 2 weeks, except for the first unit, because the first unit's kind of review. I'm hoping that a lot of people remember chemistry. So most units will be 2 weeks long. So at least in the beginning, I will hopefully live stream over some of the stuff that's most complicated. So stuff that generally confuses people the most. So for example, when we talk about cellular respiration and photosynthesis, right, which will be our unit 3, I don't necessarily need to spend a ton of time going over the equation or going over where is this happening or going over stuff that you could really just look at your notes and go, oh, okay, cool. I'll be going over the more complicated, you know, electrochemical components of what is the electron transport chain, and just stuff that I know challenges students, at the very beginning.
Cool. Let's see. There were some logistics questions in here. Does anybody else have questions about bio? They could be questions about preparing for the exam. Someone says, how will we be tested on the material taught? So could you talk a little bit about the AP exam?
Are they asking about how are they going to be tested on the stuff I'm providing, or tested on like the actual AP College Board test?
That's a good question. Let's see if they update it. Oh, they said both.
Both. Okay, so for the Fiveable course, you will be getting, I'm not going to say it's coming tested, you will be getting feedback from your free response question every week. So we'll try to keep them short in the beginning. When you take the actual AP College Board test in May, there are short free response questions that usually have just a couple parts. And then there are longer ones, which have like, a data table and a graph and maybe a couple paragraphs of text. So we'll build up to that. I don't want to do that on week 1 because you'll be like, what is happening? So your feedback for just this course will be your free response every week. And then if there are multiple choice questions built in, you would be getting feedback that way. When it comes to the actual AP College Board test, obviously things happen, right? So in May, it was completely different this year. There was no multiple choice portion. There was only a written portion, which has never happened ever. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. So ideally, and normally, it will be 50% of your AP score is multiple choice, and 50% is your written portion, which is actually kind of nice because if you're good at one or the other, it kind of helps ramp up your grade a little.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. One person said, will we have grades per se on the assignments for this course?
So what I'll talk to my TAs and essay reader about is assigning like a rough 1 through 5, right? So like based on your response, so we'll have a rubric, right, for your FRQ, and it's not a perfect science, obviously, because it's an original question that I will be writing, right? And I'm human and I'm not the College Board. So what we'll try to come up with is a rubric that says, hey, based on your responses, this is a 5 material, right? Or based on your response, this looks like more like a 1 or a 2. Okay, and that's why having a reader who actually reads for the College Board for the AP Bio test is going to be huge because she'll be able to have the experience to say, like, I do know this is a 1 or 2, and here's why. So hopefully that helps. It's not going to be like A, B, C, or D in terms of a grade. It'll be more, hopefully, just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, and those numbers are for you all to get a sense of where you're at as you study for the exam. So we're not going to be keeping track of those and then at the end we're going to say that equals a C. We're not going to do anything like that. And all of the assignments, like she said at the beginning, are optional. So it's there if you want it, if you don't have time, or you're maybe one week you don't have time, but the next week you do. It's totally flexible. So it's really based on how much you can put into it. Someone says, are there going to be any labs incorporated?
So actually, I'm really excited about this. I've been spending a lot of time trying to find decent virtual labs. So I'm sure some of your teachers back in the spring were scrambling and maybe sent you some virtual labs. I found some really cool ones online that look pretty good in terms of graphics and actual data collection. So it is my plan to at least, I would say, every other week have some sort of virtual lab, or potentially be like, hey, try to find these materials at home and we're going to try to do something right here, right? So like I might demo it over my screen and then we can kind of watch what happens and talk about it.
Awesome. I just put the dates for the fall and spring terms in the chat because somebody had a question about that. Okay. Let's see. Somebody says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard would you say this class is?
Oh, okay. So the Fiveable course, I don't want to say it's hard or easy. We're just going to be this extra super support for you. How hard the class is, honestly, it depends on what kind of effort you put in. So if you let yourself get behind, and if your teacher is assigning like read chapter 1 in 1 week, then read chapter 1 in 1 week. because then 3 weeks from then, when you're on chapter 6 or 7 and you're like, I have 6 AP biology chapters to read, then it's going to be really hard. But if you pace yourself, like I said about making a schedule, it's not that hard, to be honest. Like, I mean, it is very difficult material. It's more difficult language. It's more difficult, like, statistics. If you've taken statistics before, you'll be feeling more comfortable when we do some of the math stuff and data analysis. Or if you've taken AP chemistry before, then this first, unit you'll be like, okay, I totally know all this stuff. So I think part of it is it depends on your prior experience, but I do know that if you put the time in, and you ask good questions, and you don't wait till the last minute, then it's not a terrible course. It's not too hard.
Awesome. And what if this is kind of my question, if you haven't taken regular bio, can you go right to AB Bio?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Yeah, so I used to teach at a school that was a physics first school. So I taught physics to freshmen, then they took chemistry as sophomores, and then they were in my class as juniors for AP Bio. And so they were thrown right into it. Hopefully in your middle school and elementary school, you learn a little bit of science, right? Maybe you learn about cells, or maybe you learn about carbon or water or something, right? So I think most kids come with a decent amount of prior knowledge, and AP biology, there is so much chemistry in it, from the structure of DNA to how proteins are made to how plasma membranes are structured. There's so much chemistry in there. So if you take it, I would say it's better to have chemistry, you know what I mean, before taking
it
than taking biology first, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, awesome. Well, that wraps up the questions that are in the chat. So I just want to remind everyone that if you haven't already signed up and you want to, you can sign up at courses.fiveable.me, and you can use the code O10 for $10 off. And you can actually use that code on as many courses as you want. So if you're realizing that you wanted to sign up for something else, you can sign up for all of the courses for $10 off if you want to. That code doesn't have a limit. And my email, again, is kate@fiveable.me. If you have any more specific questions, or maybe they were questions specific just to you and you didn't want to put them in the chat, feel free to shoot me an email. And thank you so much, Kari, for making the time and telling us all about this.
Anytime. I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, and thank you to all of you for coming out here at night. Well, I'm in Boston and it's night. So thanks for taking the time out of your evening, everybody. And we'll see you out there. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.